What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. So, Barry is knocked
It was
out.
a day for me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road.
And she is just
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. What
Yeah.
can I get you today? Coffee?
I couldn't work up much hate for Rose. Something had used her to get to me and left its mark.
First refill is free. Milk and sugar on the counter there. Would you like to hear today's specials? Thank you. A nice day. Come back soon.
My gun and flashlight were gone.
Of course.
I'd have to find a way to get Barry into the car as quickly as possible. There was no time to waste.
We got a lot of manuscripts to go through. Damn, I did miss a couple. Oh, man, it's a lot. Do I want to do these all now? Yeah, let's get through
It's
them.
true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me.
This does not sound like Alan at all.
This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Be weird.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall in the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry. The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. "Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page." The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone. At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree.
I don't remember
I stumbled
this.
into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
Guess that was him dodging an axe guy.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would. I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason. Packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo. Things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more. Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job to do. He had a rider to catch, at any cost. On more than one occasion, Alice had tried to explain to me how it felt to be afraid of the dark. To her, darkness wasn't simply the absence of light, but something more tangible than that. It was something you could touch and feel. Worse than that, it was something with a mind of its own, something malicious and malign. For her, things changed when they were wrapped in darkness. They turned into something else, something foreign, and nothing was safe or innocent anymore. I'd never really understood what she meant, until now.
I had an ex that she wasn't afraid of the dark, but she couldn't sleep without like something going. Like she had to have the TV on to fall asleep. That shit was obnoxious, man. Like you just want to sleep and you have to have the TV running in the background.
I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up and spat out. The flashlight was heavy in my hand, and each pull of the trigger sent a painful shock up my arm. But I was finally out of the woods, and things were looking up. That's when I heard the chainsaw. When Barry saw the darkness attack the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow the world had changed, like the channel had been switched without warning. You think you're watching a sitcom, and you're really watching a horror show. When the birds started attacking the cabin, Barry wasn't surprised, just terrified.
Ooh, now we're getting into Nightingale fires?
The FBI agent's command froze me in place. I considered surrender. It was all falling apart anyway. I could give in, let someone else deal with it, but it felt all wrong. Call it instinct, his posture, the way he held the gun. He was no friend. Shots ringing in my ears, I leaped for the hole in the fence and stumbled into the darkness beyond.
This is like stuff that's
Rose
coming up.
knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was. Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye. The logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreckage excited, breathing hard from the exertion. Nobody there. It's weird. Don't you think that's weird? Bored, Mulligan let out a mighty snort. Hell, it's always weird, Thornton. Just a question of sorting out what kind of weird it is this time around.
Alright, well, the FBI guy is going to take a shot at me, apparently. And I have nothing. No flares, no flashlight. But if I have nothing, that probably means nothing's going to attack me just yet. At least not until I find stuff.
I just stepped outside to catch a breath of fresh air. Let me tell you, the weather's getting heavy. Nights like this make me especially glad I'm here talking to you and not home in bed. Once the weather takes a turn like this, I can't sleep at all. It's all tangled bed sheets and dark thoughts, punctuated by the occasional plunge into night.
I want to see what the caller is.
Is it just me? Well, perhaps it is. But I hope I can make the night a little bit easier to get through. Caller, you're on KBF FM.
Hey, Pat, it's Walt Snyder.
What's on your mind, Walt?
Well, I am the way you are, but, well, I can't sleep either, you know? I just been staring out the window here, trying to make sense of it all, but, I ain't been drinking either, you know? I just...
Well, you sound like a man with a problem, Walt.
Well, I was expecting him to like talk about the birds or something. Guy's just kind of rambling though.
you're gonna get it now. God knows what you've done to that poor girl. This is Agent Nightingale, FBI! Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest! You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face! Stay right where you are, Slane!
Jesus Christ. The fuck, dude?
I'm standing right here, you goddamn maniac!
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment
What
with
the
kidnapper.
fuck, dude? Why is the FBI trying to murder me? Alan, you really need to pick up jogging or something, man. This is like... This is an embarrassing lack of stamina.
There he is! There he goes! Okay, man. Keep your eyes peeled. He's gonna try to make it through here. This way!
Oh, damn.
It's a manuscript page.
Come on, guys. We need to head him off.
Mr. Randolph liked Rose. That little smile she had. How she was still sweet when life had tried so hard to make her bitter. It wasn't any of his business what she did in her trailer. But those strangers, the writer and his smart-ass sidekick, looked like trouble. And they'd been in there for hours, way past her normal bedtime. He reached for the phone and called the sheriff's station.
Fucking busybody, dude.
For decades, the darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's skin slept fitfully in the dark place that was its home and prison. It was hungry and in pain. It dreamed of its nights of glory when the poet's writing had called it from the depths and given it a brief, terrible taste of power and freedom. The rock stars had stirred it from the deep sleep the poet had sunk it back to in the end. When it sensed the writer on the ferry, it opened its eyes.
So the darkness goes after writers or something? Weird. For real though, like what if Rose wanted a gangbang or something? Like why is it any of this dude's fucking business? Don't be calling the police. Could have at least just come to the cabin and been like, is everything okay? But no, dude calls the cops on us. Oh, don't like that. No, sir. Wait, come on. Come on. Get some fucking stamina. God. Feels like I'm playing Dark Souls, but I left stamina down at 5. Everything else got leveled up. Now my guy can't run at all. Get like one attack, and I have to back off. I don't think I need to worry about escaping the police anymore. They're getting eaten by darkness beasts.
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
fucking shooting at me with a shotgun, bro. Oh my god. Nope, I ain't got time for you. Oh, the birds are going after it.
This is James. Mulligan, Thornton, come in. Over.
Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They didn't put up a fight or anything. Why, they were... Hey, what are you... Come on!
Sit down and give me that. James, Mulligan here. Over. Go ahead, Mulligan. Over. We got Wheeler and Rose here. Wheeler's drunk or hopped up on something. Speaking of which, that Fed had a pretty distinctive whiff of Otis Scotch about him, if you know what I mean. Over. I don't have anything on that, Deputy Mulligan. Over. Well, whatever. Anyway, Rose is just being plain weird here. You better get Doc in to take a look at both. Over. Gotcha. You better get them here quickly. The Fed's gonna want to interview Wheeler. Over.
I imagined that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine.
Yeah, let's not go that way.
Unnatural shadows clung to the gate. The darkness that was after me was trying to stop me. I wouldn't get through without a light.
Oh, here we go. Hitting it with a big ass
There was
light.
no power to the searchlight.
We got a Jenny. Another shadow gate. Finally. Nothing else though? No batteries? No batteries or nothing. Be honest, possessed gates. I'm okay with the bad guys and the shadow beast.
To recognize the flashlight grenades. They were an ideal weapon for my situation.
Team 1, come in. Over.
Possessed gates though, that's going a little bit far here.
1, this is Sheriff Breaker. Report. Over. Team 2, come in. I need a report. Over.
Damn. Flashbangs just straight up kill him. I mean, I guess it is just like a super intense burst of light. I feel like there's like manuscript pages out here, but like I can't fucking find them. There's too much, there's shit chasing me. Cops are throwing axes at me. Come on, almost to the light. Almost to the light. Almost to the light! I'm almost there! Ugh. Back. Back, beast. Back.
And here's another call. You're on KBFFM with Pat Maine.
It's Milt Peabody, Pat.
What's on your mind, Milt?
Well, I live near the trailer park, Pat, and there's a big ruckus going on over there.
Well, that's just up the road from me, too. What's going on, do you know?
I don't know, but there's a bunch of police cars.
Boom, bitches! I mean, I can't kill him. Oh god, he's getting closer. I need more. Ah, fuck, I'm gonna have to do it. Fuck it, there you go, have fun. Damn it, really didn't want to have to use 2 flashbangs on that guy, but... And here's more. I need to at least gather them up. Little bits, little bursts of light. Oh god. Oh god, no, 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 no. There you go. The gate right there, come on. Gotta get through the gate, Alan! Fuck you. Oh.
Could lend me a car to get to the coal mine.
Damn. Shadow guys are freaking stressful, man. Alright, anyway, since we made it over to the radio, let's wrap things up. We will continue this soon, though, so stay tuned, and I'll catch y'all then with more.